But Nia is a very intimate session. It's holistic. It brings in martial arts, healing arts, and dance arts all in one. So you're bringing your masculine and feminine energy into balance.
Previous generations, traumas and so on that bring it on like, this is our land, we fight so much for it. We don't want other people to come and take what's ours because we fight to be able to be a human being on the country.
You're going to have challenges no matter where you live. So you better pick your challenge because nowhere you live is it going to be peaches and roses. You're expected to just carry on like you were, and no one is the same, including yourself.
Brazil has this energy, like, just like put yourself out there, dance, be happy, hang out, be human and everything. I miss Brazil so much.
Solo parent, so single mom is generally, I'm the mom and the dad. I'm going to train him now. He's not even 3.
Wow.
The first hike, he managed about 2 kilometers. Give up this idea of having control and having everything look and be perfect, because it's just never going to be.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the hot seat. Today, I have a very special guest. It's somebody I wanted to have on the podcast for a long, long time. And I will let her introduce herself because I think it will be the best way. But I just want to tell you, the time when you say don't force friendship, and just let things flow as it goes. This will be a perfect example. This is somebody I met that I never knew, that we will be still conversing and meeting over the years. And she's one of those type of people where the first friendship just flourish. Welcome, Inge, to the hot seat.
Thank you, Christina. I'm so nervous and happy to be here with you. Never done a podcast, I'm not going to lie.
Well, this is going to be the first one. Too many.
Yes.
I remember you told me you want to do your own
podcast. I would love to start. So this is the beginning, hopefully. But thank you so much for having me. And it's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you too.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and also how we met, and then we can continue from there.
Sure. Yeah. I think we met, it's been quite a while, back when we were both traveling in Brazil. And we were in a place called Florianopolis in Santa Catarina, which is in the south. And I had made friends with Lorian, is her name, a mutual friend that we didn't know each other yet, me and you. And I had made friends with Lorian, who took me to a EDM music festival, electronic dance festival. And I had never experienced anything like that ever in my life. And at this festival, lo and behold, she said, you need to meet my other South African friend. And when I finally met you at this party, I thought, this girl is not South African. She seems local, like my hometown, but she's definitely not South African. And then we realized you were Mauritian.
Hey.
So yeah, that was where we met, at the Alok EDM party in Brazil. And what a time we had. The party started at 10 in the morning. I think I was home by midnight, so it was a good day party.
Yeah. Do you know that the club Green Valley, I think it's called? It's one of the best clubs in the world. And in 2013, 14, 2018, 2019 as well, it was rated the best club in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had never heard of it, never been there.
Ibiza from like high Ibiza,
Oh no way, that actually makes so much sense, because I was thinking about that time that we were there, and one of your questions you had to me was, what stood out for me in that moment, in that time. And the location was incredible. That club was insane. I mean, I think it was there on the beach, and there was a massive, beautiful pool with lights and people just dressed up and having the best time. and the energy was insane that day.
God, you make me want to go to a party like this because I remember how fun it was.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice.
It was incredible. Yeah.
I remember there was this guy, and which he was in the group and was like, "Hey, make sure we don't lose each other, right? Let's stay together." And we lost each other.
We did. I think a few times we lost each other, but luckily we found each other.
Yeah.
I remember wandering off because I was so bedazzled by what I was seeing. I had never experienced anything like this. The people, the energy, the music, the lights all over the place.
Yeah.
And Alok, the DJ, I mean, I didn't even know who he was.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. Now I'm following all his Instagram.
And I didn't even know he was this world-renowned, like top world-class DJ, and actually ended up following him in the backstage as he was coming into the stage. I was there and I experienced him walking in and just watching that scene and the people like cheer for him, and that energy was just amazing.
Yeah. And I think, like, I don't know if you follow him now. He is he's such a good person, and all the things that he's do, like his family and all of that.
Yeah, he's a family man, got a beautiful family. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, and he did bring this energy and vibes for all of us to have such a great time. And he's going to be at Tomorrowland, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous. That's so cool. Please do.
Yeah, I'm going to dance for you as well.
Yeah,
sure.
okay.
But yeah, he's going to be there.
That's incredible. Wow.
And which phase of your life were you when you were in Brazil? Because when I met you, I was almost at the end of my trip in Brazil. I mean, I didn't know at that time it was the end. I just knew soon after, like, okay, my Brazil trip is over now and I need to go wherever. So which state of mind were you? What were you doing in Brazil?
Yeah, that's a weird question because my answer normally is I wasn't sure what I was doing in Brazil. In that moment, I didn't quite know.
I think I can say, like, a lot of travelers like us who end up in Brazil, we were all in the same boat in a way, right? We didn't know what exactly we were there for. Yeah. We were going through many things and we were going through life changes as well. So there was a lot, and I think we all, like, get to hang out together and just be this human being that we don't get to show to the world or do it on a daily basis. And I think Brazil did bring this kind of. And how was it for you?
Yeah, I think that was a moment in time where I met people like you, and we weren't boxing each other in. We weren't boxing ourselves in. We were kind of allowing a bit more freedom into our space, into our minds, into our bodies and our souls. And that's what that traveling was about. I mean, for me personally, I had come out of a marriage where I was unhappy and I had spent many years being unhappy. So for me, it was a discovery of who is Inge, what is Inge like, what is Inge not like. And a lot of time alone. I mean, it wasn't an easy thing to do, to pick up and travel to South America on my own, but meeting other women and other people doing it on their own, and then realizing, actually, we're not alone, we're together. And look how the friendships formed. I mean, you were one of them, and you literally worked and lived in the city I grew up in, and we meet all the way across the ocean for the first time. And then a whole other group of women I met from Germany, Argentina, and New Zealand, and we're still on a WhatsApp group to this day. And now I think all of us have had kids at this stage. And now on the group, we share the travels with the kids and all the things happening. And that's like 8 years later. How crazy is that?
Crazy indeed. And do you miss Brazil?
I absolutely miss Brazil. Yeah, I'm definitely headed back.
to Florianopolis or to other parts of Brazil?
I think both. I didn't get to reach the north of Brazil because I really just fell in love with the area we were in, and Barra de Lagoa, and even Rio. I mean, I went back to Rio like 3 times while I was there.
Okay.
And the areas around Rio, I mean, there were local places for 3 hours from Rio that only locals go on holiday with, like the most pristine beaches. No, I can't tell you the name now. Okay. I can't remember, but I'll send it to you. But I have the pictures. I mean, I was surfing in the clearest, most crystal clear water with turtle heads popping up next to me all day long. Like the most incredible, beautiful place.
You definitely need to send me
I
this
know, I
place
can't
now.
think of the name. It's
All right.
3 hours south on a bus from Rio. That's all I
Okay.
remember.
Yeah, I was also like, I ended up in Florianopolis, and I ended up there just after my mom passed away. So I was in
Yeah.
California, and I thought I'm gonna stay 2 weeks or something, and then I ended up moving there,
Oh, my
right?
word.
And it has that energy, you know. And I was going
Yeah.
hiking 3 times a week.
Yeah.
It was so
Wow.
accessible, and Brazil was very different from what people were telling about Brazil.
Absolutely.
And from the nature, from the people were everything for me. Whether it was foreigners living in Brazil or it was a Brazilian themselves, like
Yeah.
I loved it. Like I felt like it's my soul country, if I can
Yeah,
say.
absolutely. It connected me to home as well because there was so much history in Brazil, like the African slave trade. Brazil was the biggest African slave port in the world. So there's a lot of African heritage in Brazil that connected us to home. Well, that's what I found when I was in Brazil.
Oh wow!
And learning all the history about those countries in South America taught me so much about South Africa because South American countries have been going for much longer than South Africa. That I think they're about 500 years old, where South Africa is only 250 years old. So the stages they had already gone through, we were still kind of going through and are still going through. And I learned so much about home while traveling through those countries, actually.
Yeah. And touching on South Africa, I think like for me, that was a surprise as well, because even though apartheid was quite recent, we don't realize it until we are here and we see how.
Yeah.
And then I remember one time I was like, but the world is so different, you know? Like, why is South Africa still think like this? And I'm so surprised because it's so mixed and everything.
Yeah.
And then obviously I met a lot of friends. I never had this conversation with you, but like some other people, whether they are like typical Black South African or typical white South African.
Yeah.
And then they told me they don't really mix together so much. And I've never really noticed it until I'm here. And I'm just
Okay.
like, oh, it's a shame because
Yeah.
it's an
Yeah.
amazing country. But then it will take its time, you know, like you
Yeah.
said. And you see how Brazil now is. It's so mixed.
Yeah.
And they get along pretty well. I don't know the depth of the story, but
Yeah.
from what I see.
Yeah.
And so hopefully South Africa will get there as well.
Yeah, I think South Africa has made leaps and bounds compared to most other countries. Like if I compare it to, I think the US, because I lived in the US for a long time. And I do think we have dealt with a lot of the issues that, that come naturally from bringing different cultures together because we have such a melting pot. So it is challenging. It's not going to be easy. We have, I think, 13 different cultures that are trying to make it work. And if you look at, for example, Peru, one of those countries in South America, Spain and Portugal came and wiped out the other cultures. There were only 2 left at the end of the day. Whereas in South Africa, we're still trying to make it work with everyone. So that's the difference. And that brings challenges, but also it brings a lot of gain for us as a person because you're forced to integrate and learn how to live with different types of people every day.
Yeah.
Which is such a bonus, I think, in South Africa.
And South Africa as well, like I've noticed how much people are really nice here and very friendly.
Yeah.
And we travel a lot, and it's not in a lot of places that I feel like I'm just submerged in the area. Like I don't feel foreign too much. I don't feel local too much.
Yeah.
Like you get a mix of it, and I feel very comfortable here. You know, you melt into the mass.
Yeah, you can just sort of melt away, and no one's gonna gasp at anything you really do. You can just be you.
and that's a cool thing.
It is,
on South Africa. And given that we've just shifted to South Africa a little bit right now already, we still have some Brazil thing to talk about. But what do you feel about the current situation? This whole xenophobia going on right now. What's your stand on it like?
Yes, I've heard a bit in the news. To be honest, I haven't been following too closely on the news because I've just been a bit swamped. But I know that there's some xenophobic uprising happening, and it's happened before. It happens quite a lot. So at the moment, it's happening again. And I think, again, as I said, in a country where there's already a lot of challenges with even the locals trying to get along, I think we can maybe expect that there's also going to be challenges with adding people from other places. That's always going to be a challenge. And also on top of that, with the South African economy right now not being good at all, people not having jobs, not really being educated, there is that friction of, fighting for income and jobs and space in the economy. So I think that's more where it's coming from. But yeah, it's challenging in all realms for everybody, local and foreign, I think. Yeah.
And I like to dive into a bit more deeper into this, the thing that people doesn't really talk about. I was asking that recently to a friend. Is it like the South African in general that are reacting to this, or is it like a particular group,
That I wouldn't know. I can't answer that specifically because I don't know too much.
Okay. Because from what the on the news at least it's portrayed and in the write-up and so on, it looks more like it's Black South Africans who are fighting for this rather than white South African. So don't know if you have these perceptions, but at least as a foreigner, this is what I see on the news, and this is the impression that I get. Yeah. And then we were like talking like, if it's actually the case, where is it coming from? Because back in the days, Black people were fighting for their rights, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same in Mauritius. It's not different in a certain kind of ways.
Yeah.
And is it like previous generations' traumas and so on that bring it on like, this is our land, we fight so much for it. We don't want other people to come and take what's ours because we fight to be able to be a human being on the country. So what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, to me, that sounds like a reasonable explanation. Again, it can come from so many places, but I think in general, look, the majority of South Africa is Black. Also, the majority of the, I guess, lower income jobs are taken by a lot of the African natives. So those are the jobs they are most likely fighting for at the moment, and also the space. So a lot of these people don't even yet still have basic housing, running water, sanitation. So there is probably that an inherent history of like, this is ours. We did fight for it. We don't want anybody else taking it. So there's a lot of that.
Yeah, it makes sense a little bit like this. I would take the example of Mauritius. Mauritius, there was no native, right? Everybody came as slaves, laborers, or from the UK or France, which was also the entrepreneur and so on. So nobody can really fight like, this is my land, this is not for you, and so on. But on the other aspect, what Mauritian is struggle with is not giving the same kind of rights that Caucasian people was giving in the country. So 90% or more of the economy is owned by the Caucasian people, right? So I see the Mauritians fight a bit in those kind of ways, like, hey, I deserve a place at this table, and it's not easy to get, but it's changing over time as well, because it's something from 1958 and it's changing all the time. So now, like in today's world, we see a little bit how South Africa is going through, and it's just make us like talk about these things, like, where it come from, so what's happening, why do you have this type of issues? Because on the other side, every country is going through their own issues. And then you see there is a correlation. So why it's a certain way.
For sure. And I mean, you see it everywhere. I mean, in the US, it's a huge issue. So that also impacts all the other countries, because it is such a big country and everyone watches it all day on the news. So it can also have an influence. And
100%.
No matter where you go, in Europe as well. I think I've heard in Paris, there's a lot of it's changed over the years. So
definitely. And I don't know if you've seen the news recently that Switzerland wanted to cap its population at 10 million. So it's like,
really?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
But it didn't go through the bill. So,
Okay.
but I guess sometimes at some point countries like, hey, no, I want to like develop my economy with the population that I have.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the reasons in South Africa, because like, hey, I'm not getting a job. Why do you giving to foreigners?
Yeah.
You know, and they are fighting for that.
Yeah.
While in Mauritius, it's also a low pay, like, you know, small job. They pay very little. And in Mauritius, they don't want to, we have a lot of foreigners that come from Bangladesh, from Madagascar, and so forth, because the local doesn't want to do the work for the salary they are getting.
Yeah.
You know, so Mauritius is kind of welcoming.
Yeah.
It's happening. Nobody's fighting against it. It would be a fight if it was like high-paid job and the locals are not getting it. So sometimes I see the local are frustrated with expat, what expat are earning, what they are getting. But I've been an expat and I understand why expat get more or get certain advantages, which would be a debate with another Mauritian, right?
Yeah.
So it's country from country.
Yeah, and I mean that can also be applied here. I have seen the cases where, you know, the locals don't necessarily want to do the jobs that the foreigners might take on and be happy to do. I've seen that happen. So yeah, sometimes you just find that the foreigners are also so grateful to be in a country that is functioning better than their home country.
Yes.
That they'll work harder and they're more appreciative of those jobs.
Yeah, because the other option is going back to your country and potentially not having a job or doing it for way lesser amount, right?
Yeah. So
it's a World Cup season right now. Are you into football?
Woohoo, no. But I am into World Cups.
Okay. Have you watched any game?
To be honest, they're a bit late for me because I am a mom of a 3-year-old, so I'm in bed by like 8:30. Yeah, I watched the highlights of the first game against Mexico. I see they played last night. I didn't see who though.
So last night it was South Africa and Czech playing.
Oh, really? And what
Yes.
happened? I don't know.
They are 1-1. I'm not a football girl, but my husband, he is.
yes.
That family is from Czech. you know.
Okay.
So he's a patriot of like, you know, and he's watching it, and I'm talking on the phone with my friend, and he's like, "Damn it, no, what's going on?" And he's leaving. I was like, "Hey, you don't watch football like this."
But that's awesome that we drew that game then 1-1. last night.
So
okay.
so
Well, good for us. I'm so happy.
I was telling him I should put my shirt, put a South Africa
Yes.
as a thing here, and you do the Czech one, and then we can like bounce on each other.
Yeah, and I think from what I heard, we did well for qualifying, so that's really cool.
Yes.
To actually make it in and earn that right, because I know in 2010 we didn't really earn that because we hosted the World Cup, so we got an automatic entry. So it's nice that to have earned that spot for us and then be able to play. I mean, that's really cool.
I'm also going to root for Czech. There's no Mauritian team.
Well,
so
you're going to root for the whole world
Yeah.
according to your travel patterns.
Brazil, let's go.
I actually root for Brazil because I do know that they're really good. So the World Cup soccer in 2010, I was home for that.
Okay.
It was actually during that week that I decided to move home from the US because it was just so amazing here. And I realized I wanted to be here.
Vibe, the happy vibe, all of lots.
Yes. And 2010 World Cup, we drove down to PE to watch the quarterfinal game of the World Cup, Netherlands against Brazil.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, what an atmosphere. It was insane.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, Brazil lost that game. And I have never in my life seen so many men in tears, like in the live stadium. It was horrible. Yeah. I felt terrible for Brazil. But
Is there any game that you watch that's like it get to your heart, like to your brain, and you're like, yeah, they had to win it or something?
In
or
soccer or anything else?
In any field.
Well, I'm a tennis player, so I love watching tennis and I love following the big players like Djokovic. I'm an old fan of Roger and Nadal, so I love that because that's in my blood. It's like what I've done my whole life. So tennis is good. I like watching athletics.
Okay.
Because I also loved athletics in high school, and there's always so many interesting things going on athletic fields.
Yeah.
And I do like rugby just because there's such a big hiss when when we're playing, like the Springboks play.
Yeah, South Africans are very good at rugby. I
Very
understand.
good. Like,
Yes.
okay, I might be wrong here, but I think we're like top 3 or even top 2 in the world. Like, we should go to one.
Yes, please. I would love
In
to.
Pretoria, I've heard the Bulls games are insane, like the vibe.
And when do that happen?
I actually don't know. I'll have to check, but quite often, like I
Okay.
think almost like once a month or every couple of weeks there's a game.
Okay. I was just like
Yeah.
thinking if it's a specific time of the year, then I have to plan my travel to be back at that
I
specific
think
time of the year.
rugby, I think, is all around the year.
Yeah,
There's
but one
never not
major game
rugby. But yeah, like a South African game would be really cool, but I'm not quite sure.
I
when
can
that
see
will
you like
happen.
screaming at the stadium.
I mean, I have no idea how the sport works, but I was like the Spirit Cup champion in my high school, which means we screamed the loudest.
surprise me. Yeah, surprise me.
Like, we literally had no voices by the end of our athletics week. But we won that cup.
This is what matters, right? So you were telling me like this whole 2010, you decided to move back to South Africa. Like, how did it feel? How many years you live in New York? 8 years? Or
Yeah,
something
I
like
was
this?
in
How
New
did it
York
feel
to come back. To be honest, it was pretty rough. Just coming back to a third world country that used to be your home and it's not really your home anymore. So you're kind of starting over. But to me, I think it's even harder because you're expected to just carry on like you were, but nothing and no one is the same, including yourself.
Yes.
So it was really challenging. I ended up moving down to Cape Town because I found that Cape Town was a bit more cosmopolitan, similar to New York vibe versus Joburg. So then I was in Cape Town for about 7 years. And and then I came back to Joburg eventually after all my travels through Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah. So the challenging, but also I came back because I love South Africa. And I actually appreciate the challenges we have here because I learned from living overseas. I lived in the US for 7 years or 8 years. And I realized you're going to have challenges no matter where you live. So you better pick your challenge because nowhere you live is it going to be peaches and roses.
Yeah.
And I would have preferred to have the challenges I have here and be close to family and be a South African because you kind of lose that when you leave. It's hard. You can't keep it unless
You're
you're
not
in
South
it.
African anymore. You are not a US citizen.
You have to
You're just
change.
like somebody in between.
Exactly.
Here.
And I was never going to be American. I couldn't do that. I love America, beautiful people, but it just wasn't me. People didn't get me, my humor, my silliness. I needed home to get my ridiculous jokes and see you now, see you now, I'll help you later. All those ins and outs that we do here. Like, I just needed that.
Well, that's cool. I've also been out for so long, and for me, it's a different story. I love the nature in Mauritius, but that's about it. You know, my parents passed. I have my siblings, and we are close, but not so close. We're not the person who's going to call each other every day. I call my sister once in a blue moon, and we'll chat. I talked with her yesterday, for example, but then I don't know when next.
Yeah.
And I also feel the same way like you, that when I go home, I'm not the same, and I had my friends and everything, but I'm still my family. I'm different. My niece and nephew, for example, they don't know me, so they know this version of me more. And it's kind of nicer because I can be whomever the person I am at the moment.
Yeah.
But and it's so funny because it's actually just yesterday I was thinking that, like, it's crazy how you are not Mauritian enough for your own country, but you're not foreign enough to belong to any country enough. So you are constantly in a limbo situation.
Yes.
But this also make you like unique, part of the outcast, part of like individuals who still figuring out. And that's why like it's easier to bond with people who had like similar experiences.
Absolutely.
And I find that hard for me to be back home. And it's the conversations of to be permanently in Mauritius at the moment. And I keep telling you, like, every week I'm changing my decision, I'm changing my mind, and I'm finding excuses and something. And while you say you don't like US to live there, for me, I was telling Dominic, I think I'm such a US person. Put me in California or Miami. Like, these are the places I feel home. And now I'm married to a German. I can live anywhere in Europe, but I don't want to live anywhere in Europe. Like, nowhere in Europe interested me that much to move there. We tested Spain a lot. But it didn't click with me. I love Spanish language, yes, but something doesn't click with me because I've been living on and off in South Africa for a long time. Despite I'm here just a few months, a year in total, but South Africa feels more like home. And yes, it could be like not a first world country, but it has so much, and it has way more than Mauritius has, you know? And I'm like telling Dominic, I have such a comfortable lifestyle here, such a bougie lifestyle here, you know, like, you know, you have somebody who's coming to help you clean your home, like small stuff like this. You have abundance of food and fruits, you know, that you don't have it somewhere else. When you're in Europe, you have to go to the supermarket, yes, but you have to count what you are buying or check what you are buying. In South Africa, it's changed a lot since COVID, but you can still buy without thinking too much. You know? You can go out dinner without thinking too much. You're not going to have a crazy bill that you're like, what the heck I'm doing?
No, for sure. And there's so many options. I mean, you've still got I've got a local Portuguese vegetable and fish shop by me. I mean, they have the freshest, most amazing vegetables, fruit, nuts, fish, you know, that you can go and you can walk around and get good prices for. I mean, I don't really know where you can do that anywhere else anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And also not in Mauritius because it's a small island. Everything is imported in the country. So you don't get access. And I tell them, like, if I cannot have a better life that I have in South Africa, I don't really want to move somewhere else in the world for it.
And let me tell you, a lot of people feel that way and they've moved away and they've moved back. I mean, my best friend, they went to the US, got their citizenship. The day they got it, they moved home.
Really? Wow. That was the decade that they needed to come back home.
And they love it here. And they live in Hermanus. Their view is the mountain. That's their playground. Beautiful weather.
Wow.
Beautiful people. Beautiful food. And not more expensive than Joburg. Actually, it's not more expensive. They've done the analysis and looked at it.
Okay.
So they live a great, beautiful life there at the moment. Yeah. And we have, I think, some of the best weather in the world.
Yes.
I mean, I
3 months.
I just taught one of my dance classes outside in my garden in the middle of winter at 8 o'clock in the morning, barefoot.
8 o'clock. Okay, it's a bit cold.
No, we warmed up nicely. We were sweating it out there on the grass. It was
wow. And then talking about your dance, is it Nina that you're doing?
Nia,
Nia, sorry. And I remember the first time you were doing it, and I was in your garden.
Yes.
And we were. How many years ago was that?
That was 2020. It was during COVID. Because I remember we were trapped there. I was trapped in that house, in that garden, teaching online. Well, I literally just started. I think it was maybe you. I don't know if there was maybe a person online.
One person.
Yes. That's how I started, with one person who lived in Botswana. I've actually never met her in person. We danced on camera for the first year in COVID together in the garage.
Wow.
And you joined us that one day. That was 6 years ago. So I've been teaching for 6 years, and luckily my class has grown a lot since then. So.
Wow, amazing. How many people do you have?
Well, last week or a few weeks ago, I did the dance outside, and we had about 8 people. And that's standard 6 people in a class. I'm not teaching anymore. I'm giving it a break. But standard, it's been about 6 people up until the end of last year. Yeah. So it's small and intimate. But Nia is a very intimate session. It's holistic. It brings in martial arts, healing arts, and dance arts all in one. So you're bringing your masculine and feminine energy into balance. And it's extremely grounding yet energizing. Like that's how I kind of sense it in my body when I do it. I don't know how you found it that day, but
Oh, I loved it. Like, you don't live too far, and I keep saying, oh, if you live closer, I will come a little bit. You know, when we were in Centon, we are in our little bubble,
no, it
and
is
we barely
hard.
get
The
out of
traffic, you
it.
can't.
Yeah. I avoid traffic, so you would not see me on the road at 8 in the morning, and you would not see me on the road at 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Like if I go to the office, I'm out like 7, 8.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I'm working from home anyway when I'm
Yeah,
here.
that's nice.
And the fact that I travel so much for me, it's my little cocoon coming back to South Africa and just like being and enjoying and just like meeting with you or like a few friends so once in a while. It's all I need.
Yeah, that's nice. I think South Africa that's what it is to me. It's a homey country. Like you feel at home. And I think most people feel at home from anywhere in the world. That's the feedback we get from South Africa.
Yeah. I think like if you would remove the crime situation, the crime rate, and I always say this, I think I've said it on podcast before, it's my top 3, South Africa, if you remove the crime rate. And it's good that the world doesn't know so much what South Africa brings because of situation going out, a situation right now. What would happen if they know how cool South Africa is?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Well, already, so in Cape Town, people have discovered Cape Town, right? It's, I think, the top destination in the world to go to. And unfortunately there, you've seen now how the locals are also being pushed out because of the housing prices have skyrocketed and the locals can't actually afford it. I mean, I lived there for a long time. Eventually, I had to buy a house outside of Cape Town because the prices were not local prices at all.
Yeah.
So it is that risk. Unfortunately, on the Garden Route side and Cape Town side, that area is starting to get overrun by British tourists and everyone who wants to live in that beautiful part of the country.
The Garden Route is amazing, though. I've heard so much about it. I was like, it's just some nature and a road. Why are we making a fuss about it? When I did it, I was like, oh my Lord, I want to go and live there.
It's amazing. And it's so wide. Like you can, each town, there's a next one and a next one and a next one. And one is more beautiful than the other. And there's more to do here than there. It's like the sparkly coast.
No, South Africa is great. I must admit that. And we were talking about Nia and how you started it during COVID. And how did that change from 2020 up to 2026? Sorry, it just reminded me that COVID was 6 years ago.
Yes, COVID was 6 years ago. Eh?
Wow. So how has it like helped you? How has it had people around you as well? And what made you get into Nia? Is it because of COVID itself? Or
no, so I actually discovered Nia while I was traveling. I think it was after Brazil. I went back to New York for a while and I was staying there for about 6 months. And I also was just lacking some grounding and routine. I didn't have a routine anymore. So someone had mentioned this Nia fuzzy thing in one of my Facebook groups. And I just Googled and found a class and I went and tried it. And honestly, after that class, I was in tears. And it was almost like my body was saying, thank you for doing this. This is what I've needed all along. Because my body was broken from traveling. I mean, your body, it's hard work to travel. Moving around all the time, not having your routines, your structure, not looking after your body really when you travel because you got to eat whatever's in front of you and you got to keep moving. So I had also injured my knee in a cycling accident. So my body was craving healing and rest, but still through movement, if I can explain it that way. So that's how I discovered Nia and what it did for me. And a lot of people say that they walk into a Nia class and for the first 6 months, the tears are coming because all of our emotions and the trauma that happens gets stuck in our body. And I found that Nia was the best way for me to process all my emotions in the quickest, most efficient way. I would walk out of that class in a different state of mind. I was a completely different person. And every time I do it, I feel that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
already dancing itself is very therapeutic, but when you do something very consciously and in a certain movement, it all brings everything together.
Yeah. So it brings in like Tai Chi, slow movement, moving energy, the fast martial arts movement, we do kicks, punches, blocks, and then you've got the aerobics and the dancings and the jazz and the modern and the ballet. So there's all of that together. There's so much methodology behind Nia. When we do the course, you do an in-depth 7-day 8 to 5 training.
Wow.
So there is so much to unravel in that you don't even realize when you step into a class. You kind of have to do it at least 5 to 10 times, and then you only start to reap the real benefits of Nia. Because there are layers upon layers upon layers in Nia.
Yeah. Okay. And do you still do it online as well?
No, so I go to a class and receive it from my instructor because at the moment I'm in a season of needing to look after myself and not just give from myself because I am a mom. So I've just decided to give myself a break from teaching because it does take a lot of brain power and admin that at the moment I don't feel like I have the capacity for. And I realized that I've done so much training in Nia that it will never leave me. So it's just a pause. And teaching the other day, after 6 months of not teaching, it was amazing because it just came out. Like I didn't even rehearse, I didn't practice, and we just did it, which was so amazing. That's what I love about it. It's easy.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it. I mean, I did a very amazing class in a chair. So when I did my training, they made us do a class in a chair, and I actually got a very good workout in a chair.
Okay.
So it's designed for anyone with any ailments, diseases. I mean, you can go into old age homes and do it. You can do it anyway. So depending on your body.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You know, when I hear about dances and movement, like my body's like, hey, we need to do some movement now.
I know. I'm the same.
And then I'm like, why don't I make an extra effort when I'm in South Africa at least to go to these classes, you know?
I know. It's a strange thing to me as well because it's something, it's almost like something extra we have to add. Why isn't it already just like part of our lives and our culture? That's what I enjoyed about Peru and Brazil was there's so much dancing everywhere you go. It's literally ingrained in their blueprint. Like everywhere you went, there was dancing.
Yes.
And that's a piece that's missing for me here that I brought back to South Africa.
There we go.
And I brought it into my life and into others' lives because one of the biggest lessons I learned on that trip was we need joy. We got to have joy in our lives. Otherwise, what are we living for?
Yeah.
And that I brought back with me from Brazil. Brazil taught me how to play.
Yeah. Yeah, Brazil had this energy, like, you know, just like put yourself out there, dance, be happy, hang out, be human and everything. I miss Brazil so much.
And do you know Barra de Lagoa, where we were, and I didn't know this, I only found this out later, was the top, what's the word now? The top extreme sports capital of the world. Where we were staying. So that's why you had all these slackline festivals, aerial yoga festivals. The surfing is incredible there. I mean, I randomly went to one of the top teaching beaches in the world, 2 minutes from where I was staying, where top longboard champion was my surfing coach for 10 days. Like,
wow, okay.
Like with no plan. Where does this happen?
Yeah, true.
So it was an incredible place where we ended up there. It was insane.
Someone come to mind, I know like she's gonna be, I just saw a video of her and she was like lining in 2 big mountains and just like this. Oh my Lord. And it looks like she's gonna be very happy to know that Brazil's like this and would love to go.
Yes,
sure.
I mean it's amazing.
Yeah, okay, fantastic. We reminisce about Brazil. I think we still need to have a girls group trip. We keep saying we're going to have that. Maybe Brazil is where we have to go, in the north, in the Amazon, and and then a little hop to Florianopolis, maybe.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love to actually create adventure retreats for women who have come out of traumatic environments, whatever it may be, who are looking to discover their strength, their confidence, their joy.
Should do that.
And set them up on these trips, because now we've been there, we kind of know what to expect and where to go. Because there's so many hidden gems that you wouldn't know just from a travel agent.
Well, if you do this, please, I'm coming.
Yeah.
And if you do it in Brazil, I'm definitely coming, 100%.
This idea I've had for years,
Yeah.
and one day it will actualize. 'Cause
Yes.
I think it's a great thing for women.
Exactly.
especially,
I think like Brazil is a good place for that. Bali has also this kind of vibe as well. So it's a good place. But if somebody who's adventurous
Yeah.
and also want to do healing at the same time and go deeply within themselves,
Yeah.
Brazil would be perfect. And I think you will be a very good person to lead a group like this.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's giving me the confirmation.
Yeah. If that's a confirmation you need, this is the one. Oh wow. Yeah. And moving on from this, you did mention that you're a mom now. And how was it, before we go, how is it for you to be a mom? I want to ask you, like, we are women in our late 30s, early 40s. How was it for you to go through this path? Because there's a lot of women who don't know if they can have kids, how the journey's been. We heard many different things. And by women, I'm talking for myself, for example. Like, it's a journey. I'm telling Dominic, like, we have to do it now, or it's never, kind of thing. So run us a little bit. What was your journey like?
Yeah, so mine was not something that I necessarily planned. So he was a miracle baby. But yeah, it was when I was almost 40, I think 39. And for me, it was it was easy to have a baby. I didn't have
I feel
any
at peace
issues.
when I hear this.
And, I can only speak from my experience, and I didn't have an issue. But the more I sort of look into this as well, I see so many women taking record and posting about having kids like close to 50. So I do see that happening, and it seems like it's quite popular and becoming more normal. I will say that when I met with my doctors, they call us a geriatric pregnancy. So I think from the age 35 and up, you're labeled as a geriatric pregnancy. So it is considered an older, more risky pregnancy. But personally, I didn't have issues. I do know some people who have had issues with their children being born. You'll never know if it was because of age or because of genes and something else. So the reality is, you probably will never know. I also have friends who waited and were not able to have kids, unfortunately, and then they made peace with it and they have a great life. So each situation is so unique. It's so different. For me, I wasn't sure I was ever going to have kids, and he was an unplanned baby, but it was the most rewarding, toughest journey I've been on.
Yeah.
And the biggest gift. So I believe whether you do or you don't, it literally is a choice. Sometimes it's not even a choice. Sometimes it happens. But you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So as long as you're at peace with either one, that's really what matters at the end of the day. And you kind of have to go with life, because these things, some things you really can't control. And I believe, whether you can have kids or not, sometimes you just can't control that. Maybe you couldn't have kids already in your 20s. Maybe it's easy for you in your 40s. It's just we try and control everything in life. And this is something that's not, you probably have no control over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also like good to hear, like in your late 30s, and then you didn't get any problems as well. Because while it's very good to be informed about the complications and the thing that can happen in your late 30s or early 40s, it's also bring a lot of fear. At least for me, I feel it, because you had the impression, like, once you first 35, this is it. You are at risk of something, like you cannot have a normal pregnancy, you know.
Yeah,
So I think while the information is out there, the good part for those who've been in their late 30s or early 40s, have children, it's also good to put it out there as well, because it helps us feel like each situation is unique. It doesn't mean like now if we want to have a kid, that's an issue we're going to have.
Exactly. And even me now being, over 40, I would love to have another kid. And who knows if that will ever happen.
Yeah.
And seeing people having kids at an older age has also helped me relax my brain a little bit about it and realize, all things are possible. You never know really what's going to happen.
Yes. And like you said, there's people in their 50s are having kids. So there is still like, it's feasible, And the world has changed a lot, what it was 30 years ago to now, right?
Yeah.
And the type of medical facilities that there is, the type of nutrients that there is.
Yeah.
Like back in the days, you would never hear a 20 years old say, I'm going to have to take folate for me to get pregnant. Now your doctor tells you, like, take folate for 6 months and then this will be better for you and for your kids. You know? So there is better information as well, better medical
And
situation.
I think we as people and as women are also able to take care of ourselves better at an older age. So hopefully we're also, at 40, I'm quite a healthy 40-year-old. So I think that had a lot to do with, being healthy when you're pregnant. It plays a lot into that.
Yeah, I must say, though, I don't know anyone who's as active as you are. Like, what is this? How?
I know, and so I've passed it on to my kid.
Oh, amazing.
So it's good and bad.
He's going to be
never
forever
sit down.
grateful for you for that, for sure. But yes, like you said, then it also keeps you to be on the move at the time.
We just did a hike on Tuesday at Van Galen Cheese Farm. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful, beautiful hike.
And he was with you. How was it for him?
I had him in the backpack because I try to hike with him. I'm training him to be a hiker because I'm a hiker and I want to hike. And I want to bring him with me. I don't always want to do stuff without him. I want him to go with. So I thought I'm going to train him now. He's not even 3.
Wow.
The first hike, he managed about 2 kilometers. And then we had to turn around, which for him was a lot. No, it was really good. So this time I brought my backpack and put him in, and we did about 6-7 kilometers, which was nice.
Fantastic.
He weighs about 14 kilograms, so it's good training for me as a hiker.
You already do so much, right? And well, but that's good to see. He's gonna be very happy about that, and I'm sure he's gonna be seeing the world as well, and he's gonna be equipped with what is needed to explore the world.
For sure, this kid is gonna know what's what.
And you're a single mom, right?
Yes.
How is it to be a single mom? Like, what are the best part of it, and also what are the challenges that you experience on a day-to-day?
Okay, so I'm actually a solo parent. So single mom is generally, there's a single mom and a single dad. I'm the mom and the dad, which obviously has been very challenging. And there's quite a bit of history in that story. But honestly, it's been, as I said, the most challenging and rewarding thing that's ever happened to me. Challenging in a sense that every day I can't keep up with everything. I saw a quote the other day from a mom saying, how everyone always asks, how do you do it? You guys are amazing. How do you do it? And the real answer is we actually don't do it. Every day there's some ball we have to drop to catch the other ball, whether it's work, keeping the house clean, giving attention to the kids, giving attention to yourself or your partner or whatever it may be. There's always something that you have to drop. So you have to just give up this idea of having control and having everything look and be perfect, because it's just never going to be.
Yes.
Which is challenging for a person who is quite competitive and has always done quite well in a lot of things. That's been a difficult thing for me. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But in the good sense, it's allowed me or forced me to just let go and go with what it is.
Which is very hard, right, to
Yeah.
do.
Which I also get through the dancing, right? So there's this, I have to sort of find the flow, which you find in the dancing, finding the flow in being a mom, finding the flow in making it all work. And that means that I've had to ask for a lot of help. There's no ways, a mom is not designed to be a mom and a dad. That's definitely not possible. It is only possible with a lot of help and support, which luckily I have from my mom and my family. We have a bunch of support. So that
Yes.
helps. Yeah.
And then, like, it's a good thing that you are in South Africa and you're surrounded by friends and families around you that can help you.
Yeah.
And if you have to say something to a solo parent, what would you say to them?
I would say, well done for stepping up and taking on the responsibility in place of the person that didn't step up and couldn't or chose not to. And also, what I wanted to say about this is that I find a lot of people have the assumption that this is the life I chose. And I've realized people do that because it's an uncomfortable thing to talk about or think about, because then you have to think about this person who needs help. And I just want to say that nobody chooses to be a solo parent. It's something that happens to them. So just be kind to yourself, be kind to the parents, and show help where you can. And yeah, just give them grace when they're late, when they're when they fail at things, when they don't respond immediately when you expect them to, because they are juggling 1,000,001 balls at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, definitely. And I was thinking about you this last week, and I was bedridden because I was sick. And I'm thinking about my mom. How was she handling like 3 kids? And I'm thinking about you, like, it's a lot because I don't see myself able to have the little one coming and bugging me. I'm not a mom yet, so I see this kind
No,
of
it's
wording.
bugging you. Don't bug me.
Yeah, so I was like, oh gosh, like, and yes, thank you for doing what you're doing. I think you're doing great. I've seen your journey. I know how a strong person that you are. And but being strong, that doesn't mean that we cannot break down. We break down all the time, and that's what makes us stronger and stronger. And I've seen your journey, and you're doing amazing. I think you're doing amazing. You're growing a little human being by yourself, taking one hiking. Like, I know moms in Mauritius would be like, no, my kids need to be like 10 years old to go on a hike, So you're doing great on this level for sure.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to go on that trip in Brazil.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to forget this part, like, definitely.
Yeah, I can definitely plan it for us.
Yeah, we can do like a test,
Yeah.
a test run for me, you.
Yeah, me and you.
Lauren and all, like, some two other people in the same vibe and energy.
Yeah.
And then afterwards on a Saturday, we find Alok somewhere in Brazil and we just go like party it out.
Oh, no, you're making me miss it. I want to book my flight.
Maybe should we do it right now so we don't change our mind?
No, but wait, I haven't traveled. I need a new adventure, so that must wait because I definitely need something new right now. We'll see what happens. Yeah,
it's good to add some new countries and different
ready.
places. Yeah. I'm like I love traveling, of course, and but I'm also tired of it, and I also have to find a reason to travel. And I'm saying before it was like I was going to dance classes in the different countries.
Oh yeah.
Now I was like, maybe I should aim to go to 100 countries. I'm only on 65, so it's going to take me a while to go to 100.
Wow.
So that it gives me like motivation and a little goal that I have in my mind just to say, oh, I'm going to achieve something here. Instead of like, because we travel also a lot because we are lost, we need healings, we want to explore as well, but there is a part of it. And I know I have been for a while in this journey where I'm lost or I didn't know what to do and all, but I am out of it now. So I have to find another reason why to keep traveling. Because
I was going to ask you, so your initial reason was obviously for healing and after your parents passed. So right now, do you know what the reason is? Do you have a reason?
I think it's a habit. I cannot
Yeah.
stay in a place for too long. I arrive somewhere after 3 days. I'm looking at the next flight
Okay.
ticket, and Dominic is like, "You just landed," like
Yeah.
because, and then I realize like it's automatic, and I keep saying
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay a few months in one place. It's not happening, but I'm managing now to stay 1 month in one place, 1.5 months. So it's building up progressively. But I also do want to settle, not permanently, but at least have a place called home that I know I
Yeah.
can come back to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I will say having a kid will do that automatically. Or a
Yes.
dog. Any kind of pets will force you to be grounded.
Yeah, you have no choice.
But it's nice to, you know, have the freedom while you have it, because once you don't have it, you don't have it, you know, then it
Yeah.
becomes harder.
I cannot just say tomorrow I'm just, I saw a quote
Yeah.
like, "Oh, babe, I forgot to tell you, I'm in Japan right now."
Is that you for sure?
Yeah, and I'll tell Dominic like, very soon you're gonna hear me tell you I'm in Japan right now. But yeah, I think like it's a good time of my life to like kind of settle and figure out what's next. And I also travel very differently of how I used to travel now. It's not the same way like we were living in Brazil. It's like no, I cannot travel like this anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it helps settle. And out of all of the things we discussed, and you did tell me that you did a Toastmaster.
Oh, yes.
So how is that?
Yes, I've signed up for Toastmasters. I actually signed up many years ago, and then I didn't finish the course. I got distracted. So I thought now, while I'm as busy as anything with a 3-year-old, why not sign up for another course?
Wow. And I'm telling you, do you have 1 second to be like,
No, that's the
peace?
point. No, what I realized was coming out of having a baby, because now he's not a baby, he's becoming a boy. My brain has been craving growth. You know, growth has always been a big thing for me. I've always been growing in something, whether it's myself, learning a new skill, new degree. You know, I have multiple. So there's always been something that I'm learning and growing in. So I just needed something where my brain can latch itself onto for growth. So this was it. It was simple enough. We meet twice a month. It's not, you know, overloaded with pressure, but enough to just keep me learning. And that's a skill that I want to grow, is public speaking, because of my work as well, owning a business. And the dancing. I realized it's easy for me to get up and dance in front of a crowd, but to speak is a whole nother
Different level.
Ironically, I you know what, the other one I struggle with, but the movements is fine.
Yeah.
So it's just always been a struggle, and I'm tired of having it as a struggle. I want to overcome it now.
Yeah.
So
Go for the
let's do
fear
it.
and go through it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And wow, what an amazing club I've joined. Amazing people. And we had our online class last night. And every time I'm in these sessions, my mind is just blown.
Yeah.
Like from all our realms. It's just crazy.
Great. So you find
Yeah.
something that's giving you this
Yes.
glow. And
Because I can't really travel as much. So it's giving me that thing in my brain of, wow, you know, here's something
and our brain
new.
need this, and this is what travel do for me.
Exactly.
That's why when I stay in a
You need
place for
that
too
growth.
long, I'm like,
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm not wow. I need to wow.
Yeah. So you can get in different ways, right? And I've been forced now because I've had to be at home, which is great. But I'm like you. I get cabin fever very quickly. That's why I hike and do all the things and move. Those are my ways of getting out and exploring. And when you have a kid, you have to simplify everything and find your mini adventures. You can't always have the big adventures anymore. You can, but not as often.
Yeah.
You have to find the little mini adventures for yourself so you don't die.
Yes, you have to fill your tank. And
fill your
before it
tank,
was traveling,
exactly.
now it's like with
you.
other
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
And that other things are new things. Because if you were not put in the situation that you cannot travel so much,
Yes.
you wouldn't have think of doing this, and you wouldn't have think that this is
Exactly.
something I'm gonna enjoy maybe for the rest of my life now. I'm
So
gonna be a
here's
TED speaker.
Yes, so a suggestion for you, Christina. Sign up for a course where you have to be in the class for the next 6 months. and then you can't travel.
Yes, yes.
But
I
also,
would
it
need
gives you
to.
the focus of, okay, now you actually need to, do some work or whatever you need to do.
Yeah,
in that class,
exactly.
yeah.
Definitely. And we did talk like how we cannot do routines anymore and it's you're always all over the place.
Yeah.
And I do start to feel this since a while and I just like need to find reason to keep me grounded. I'm going to get there. Well, thank you so much to be on the podcast today. And my last question for you is if you go back to Brazil and that girl who was in Brazil, what would you tell her?
Sure. I would give a big hug and tell her, well done, that there is a bigger purpose behind what you're doing. You are made for more. You are strong and capable. And get ready for the roller coaster ride ahead because you're going to need these skills that you're acquiring right now. The resilience you're getting right now, you're going to need.
Wonderful. And just to finish, what would you tell the woman right now who you are now?
Okay. Right now, I would tell the woman I am, keep moving, get out of your head, keep busy, because the difficult times also will pass. Thank you.
Thank you for joining my podcast today. It was lovely to chat with you. And I think it was one of my top podcasts because we run from traveling to motherhood to healing to Toastmaster to a lot of things.
Wow.
And this is who we are as a human being. We go through all of this. It's not just one thing. And the more each of us, we see that, we understand that, we'll be able to go through life more equipped.
Thank you so much for having me. I love you.